Hello everyone, this is Sibin from Informatica Global Customer Support Team. In this video, we'll be explaining about the BPMN based workflow in CDGC. This is a newly implemented feature in 2025-04 major release. Without further ado, let's move on to the agenda for this meeting. What's new with this workflow? Permissions required to create the workflow. How to create the workflow events ticket in MCC. Workflow inbox. The notification. Existing CA workflows and out-of-the-box workflows. From 2025-04 major release onwards, a new BPMN-based workflow will be available to create the ticket in CDGC. So far, we were using the workflow which was created in the CA service. But from this release onwards, you will be able to create this workflow directly from the metadata command center page. You don't have to rely on this workflow which was created in the CA service. And by default, you will be having 3 out-of-the-box workflows available in the MCC service. And whatever the workflows you created as a new one or the out of the box workflows, everything will be listed under the MCC Explore and under this workflow tab. And you will be able to see 3 different type of lifecycle for these workflows. One is draft. When you create a workflow as a new one, it will be on the draft state, and you can move that status to published lifecycle to published state. You can change it, and with the published state workflow, you can start creating the tickets. And if you are no longer need these workflows, you can change the lifecycle status to obsolete. The permissions. A new permission has been introduced in this release as part of this workflow. That is workflow designer. So if a user has a workflow designer privilege added to it, then that user will be able to create this workflow, and also they'll be able to edit the workflow which is in draft state. And you can see these permissions under the administrator service. So when you're creating the role, select the metadata commands and the services, and under the features tab, you will be able to see the workflow designer privilege name. So you can directly select this role to perform the above mentioned activities. Moving on to the workflow creation page. So you can start creating the new workflow directly from the MCC by clicking directly on the new button here. When you click on the new button, you'll be able to see a new option, workflow, from April release onwards. You can directly click on it, and you will be able to create the workflow similar to this as per your requirement. And all the created workflows will be listed under the Explore tab. During the creation of the workflow, when you encountered any kind of validation error, you'll be able to see it under this validation option. So it will also list down total number of validation errors are occurred during the creation of this workflow. And you can directly click on here, you can review these validation errors, you can fix it, and you can move on. Actions on workflows. As I mentioned in the previous slides, workflow has 3 life cycles: draft, published, and obsolete. Draft is the initial state of the workflow. Published can be used for creating event configuration. Obsolete can be used when it is not required. Draft and published workflows can be moved to obsolete state. And workflows are sorted by its name by default. And it can further be sorted by description, updated on, and lifecycle columns. And filter option supported here is on top of the lifecycle column. Event configuration. Event configurations are created and managed from MCC under configuration tab, workflow. Event configuration can be performed only for published workflows. The parameter to configure for an event are the assign a stakeholder role for each swim lane so that the stakeholders associated to those roles will perform action on the respective task. Swim lanes are the different areas which is available in the workflow designer page. So I will explain this in the upcoming slides. And overriding labels and due days configured in workflow is possible. Lifecycle needs to be set for each human task and end step. By default, all the event configurations will be in disabled state. We should manually enable it to use it. Creation of multiple event configuration against the same asset type is possible in this workflow, but only one event can be enabled at a given point of time. So in the previous CAI workflows, this option was not possible. Disabling the event configuration will not affect the existing open ticket, but it's not possible to create a new ticket. The existing event configurations can only be edited if all the tickets are resolved and workflow is set to be in the disabled state. The ticket creation. There is no change in ticket creation flow, but a logical task will be assigned to the users of the swim lane role that the start step is configured in the workflow. So we will be having multiple swim lanes in the workflow we configured. So each swim lane will have a different roles assigned. And starting the logical task will start the process and assign the workflow task to the immediate task owners configured in the workflow. And the task actions can be performed from different places. From new workflow inbox, this is the newly implemented option from this release onwards. And from asset 360, you can perform the actions. Also, you can perform this from ticket manager as well. As I mentioned in the previous slide, a new workflow inbox has introduced to show all the tasks created on BPMN based workflows. That is called workflow inbox. By default, all workflow inbox will be shown and toggle is provided to switch between all the new workflow inboxes. On clicking the task link from notification, we'll open the respective inbox in the workflow inbox option. Okay, let's move on to the notification tab. Notification slide. The notifications will be sent to all stakeholders of an asset when the below actions are performed. When a ticket is created, all the stakeholders of that particular asset will get notified. When the logical task is assigned, we won't be getting any notification. When the task is assigned, the respective stakeholders of the role will be getting notified. And once the ticket is resolved, all the stakeholders will also get notified. And once the ticket is cancelled, also, all the stakeholders will get notified. After the upgrade of April release, the following things will happen. The existing CA event configuration will work seamlessly. The customer can create new tickets and operate existing tickets on the existing CA configurations. Existing CA workflow event can be enabled or disabled. Once after disabling the event configuration, existing ticket will work seamlessly but not possible to create any new tickets. CA workflow can be editable when no open tickets are existed, but cannot be reconfigured for another CA workflow. And all new event configuration can be created only for BPMN workflows. So when you are creating a new event, you won't be able to see any option to select the workflow which is created from CAI. So once your tenant is migrated to the April release, you will be able to see 3 out-of-the-box workflows by default. These are the 3 out-of-the-box workflows will be available in your MCC under the Explore tab. So one is single step, then 2-step approval, the third one is a 3-step approval. So you will be able to see the updated bias system for these 3 out-of-the-box workflows. The demonstration is available in the second part of this video. Please feel free to go through it. We would love to hear from you. Please reach us out on supportvideos@informatica.com or the Twitter page. Thank you.